So here we are guys in Prashad Nagar. This is the intersection of Prashad Nagar, Campbellville, Legacy Gardens, and on this side Plantation Bel Air. So I want to take a look at what's happened since the last time we were here to the official residence of Dr. Cheddi Jagan. There was a sign here at this intersection against all these trees that pointed to the residence of Dr. Jagan. They've removed that sign. Don't know if they're going to put it back, but at one point it was, you know, a clear sign. But I just want to show you again this neighborhood and what's happening as we take a look at Dr. Jagan's residence again. The late Dr. Cheddi Jagan, one of the founding fathers of Guyana, was there at independence. Political leader. In fact, he was a dentist by practice, hence the name Dr. Jagan. And there are a few dental practices with his name in Guyana. I think run by his family, by his son, Joey Jagan. This is the Jagan Dental Clinic on Lamaha Street, and there's a Jagan Dental clinic on Robb Street, I think, which is run by Dr. Jagan Jr., Cheddi Jagan Jr. He also has clinics in New York, I believe. But here is what's happening in Plantation Bel Air. You have cows, which reminds you that it's still fairly rural or semi-rural. On this side, it's another home that's being constructed. Well, it's being renovated. It seems to be enlarged. They're going up higher, it seems. On this side, it's another home also. Yeah, another home that was also constructed. Pretty large residence. But what we're looking for is Dr. Jagan's home. Which comes up, I believe, in the next block. This is what's happening here in Plantation Bel Air. Last time I was here, I think I showed you some of the new developments, some of the new constructions. Fair amount of new construction going on here. New Haven, a little cul-de-sac for new homes being built. So that's probably in the next street, but new homes being built, new residential homes being built here in Plantation Bel Air. A lot of renovation work going on too. And on the other side, that I believe is the north end of Prashad Nagar, with this road being the dividing line. Right, so that's a new construction. But this is Dr. Jagan's official residence, heritage home of... Morning! Just come to take a look at this house. A lot of people who live abroad want to know what's happening with Dr. Jagan's house. What? Nobody living here now? Okay, so... Oh, it's a Red Cross. Okay, I thought it was owned by the family. You're not there now? So there it has heritage home of Cheddi and Janet Jagan. So apparently it has been vacant for some time, but it is a heritage site, like a historical site in Guyana. And I came by here to see what has been happening with it since the last time. it turns out that physically it is the same. It's not a lot that has changed. The home is still unoccupied, but apparently I'm learning from the men working in the neighborhood that it has been handed over to the Red Cross. So it's probably going to be part of a charity initiative. That's the original architecture, chosen and built by Dr. Cheddi Jagan himself when he returned from the US. And the home still remains in the family, possession of the family, but it is not unoccupied, and it's still a historical site here in Georgetown and Plantation, Bel Air. This is some of the neighbors. I think I've shown you this in the past. This neighborhood continues to grow, continues to expand. There are lots of new homes being built, larger homes being built, mega mansions with architecture. So that would be the original architecture from the 1980s and 1990s when people started returning to Guyana to build their homes. But this is what they're building now in 2000s and beyond, you know, after living abroad and returning to settle down in Guyana. So for those of you who are still thinking of returning to Guyana, know that a lot of people have done exactly that and made that choice. If you can brave the politics and the bureaucracy, you could probably build your dream home here, as some people have done, some others have done. So that's it, guys. That's what's happening here in this neck of the woods. Plantation Bel Air in Georgetown. Well, this would have been a suburb of Georgetown back in the 1960s and the 1950s when it was first built. We did a series of videos on Rashad Nagar in a previous video. Probably will take a look at changes then, but this is Plantation Bel Air. Plantation Bel Air. It's a little of green space here, which is kind of unusual. It's good to see, of course, but now take a look back at Cheddi Jagan's residence. That's the home of Dr. Cheddi Jagan. In Plantation Bel Air. Here in Georgetown, Guyana. Now the split level, that split level was popular in the 1970s and the 1980s. Alright, the split level, one side of the roof is long and the other shorter. They are a marker of the history of architecture in Guyana, but there was a time when, in the 1970s and 1980s, when this was the height of architecture, TLC Guyana Inc. But building these split level homes was the height of sophistication back in the 1970s and the 1980s. And so neighborhoods like this give you or remind you some of the history of Guyana or of Georgetown, particularly trapped in the architecture. Beyond this is, of course, the underlying architecture of the Caribbean, of South America, of Guyana. That is the two-story house on stilts with the slightly angled roof, right? So the roof is not exactly flat, but it doesn't have a steep angle. So this is what we built in the tropics in the early 1960s, 1950s. However, eventually these roofs became popular after people started returning to Guyana. These steep angled roofs, of course, built this way because of snow in North America, and you want to be able to have the snow fall off of the roof without building up and creating additional weight on the structure of the house. But that is popular in North America because of winter, and a lot of people who returned to Guyana after living in North America started building their homes with these North American style roofs. But this gives you the contrast, right? Gives you the contrast between what was initially South American equatorial living architecture in South America and in Guyana in particular, right? Because you do find some of these homes in the Caribbean with the flat, almost flat roofs, right? Slightly angled roofs. And now, of course, that's changing because of people returning and building homes like the ones they lived in North America. Again, that's Dr. Cheddi Jagan's house, their official heritage home of Dr. Cheddi Jagan's over there. And on this side, Plantation Bel Air neighborhood. So that's it, guys. That's what's happening here in this neck of the woods in Plantation Bel Air in Georgetown, Guyana. If you want to see more content like this, click like and subscribe. As I said in the beginning, we want to see in this video an update of what's happening with Dr. Jagan's official heritage home. Nothing has happened physically, but I understand some arrangements are being made for it to become part of the was it Red Cross in Guyana. I don't know how true that is. I'll have to verify that, fact check it, but that's what's happening in this neck of the woods. You want to see more content like this, like I said, click like and subscribe. In the comments below, tell me what you think about Dr. Cheddi Jagan's heritage home in this neighborhood and some of the changes that are happening in this neck of the woods. Share this video with friends and family around the world. I think there was a house on this plot the last time I was here, but I can't be certain. But it certainly is a vacant and empty lot. That might be either green space. No, I don't think there's a home. It might be green space, or it might become somebody's home eventually. Share this video with friends and family around the world. Let people know what's happening here in Plantation Bel Air in Georgetown, Guyana. Later! So a lot of people are still building and renovating their homes in this neck of the woods. That's some renovation, and actually there's also a new home, a large home next door.